Today we're going to talk about what makes SPoT really unique. Our cafe culture and our coffee. With this guy, Dylan England, live from the Roastery.
Hey, what's up everyone? This is Dylan from SPoT Coffee. I'm here in our beautiful Delaware and Chippewa Cafe, our flagship cafe, to talk a little bit about cafe culture and the cafe experience, and more so, these spaces that we've come to know and love so much. So we've been doing this in downtown Buffalo for over 25 years, but I'm gonna give you a brief kind of world history on cafe culture and kind of talk about how we got to Buffalo, New York. So let's get after it. So coffee itself is about 1,000 years old. And the cafe, right, or the kind of notion of a cafe is kind of a couple hundred years after that in the Middle East. It kind of then spread from there in England, but how did we actually get to Buffalo, New York? So in Buffalo, we really didn't have these cafe spaces to really go to and experience baristas and macchiatos and lattes until SPoT opened in 1995 and really defined craft coffee. And a lot of those details, these handcrafted drinks, the way that we do things here, are still the reason that a lot of you are still visiting these cafes today. So we're gonna go into the Roastery and really look at some of those things a little bit closer and talk about them. So most of the second wave coffee culture, or the culture that we model our SPoT Coffee cafes after, rely on the coffee, right? It's in the name. SPoT Coffee and a lot of these cafes really focus on the coffee itself as an elevated culinary product, right? It's not an afterthought. It's something we're gonna put a lot of care and attention into to get you a really handcrafted beverage and a great experience. So it's always gonna start with really high quality sourced Arabica coffee. We're gonna get it in season, we're gonna roast it to order and get it to our cafes super fresh. But then what happens once you enter our cafes, right? Because that's all behind the scenes, that's why you watch these videos every week. What happens when you go into a cafe and you meet your barista? What sets us apart from some of the other places you can get coffee, right? It's the equipment, it's the philosophy, which I'm gonna talk about right now. So the tools that our baristas use are really important. The La Marzocca, the espresso machine, that's probably the most important because it really shows how little everything here is automated. We're not just gonna push a button and walk away and go do something else. When you order a latte from us, we are going to make your drink to order. So all of our baristas are trained on how to actually dial in the espresso and observe extraction and calibrate it so that it tastes perfect every single time you come into SPoT Coffee. We're also gonna train them on proper milk steaming, stretching, or texturing techniques, in that we're gonna portion the exact amount to your drink specs. So when you come to SPoT Coffee and you get that handcrafted latte, these aren't just buzzwords we're using to sell you coffee. These are really at the heart of what we do, and they represent our commitment to specialty coffee and cafe culture at large.
Our cafe culture, Dylan, it's what really defines SPoT, I think. It makes it different. Just don't come for a coffee, come for an experience.
That's right. I mean, having this quality coffee and having that handmade drink really does make all the difference in the world. But like everything, you know, you can have the best product in the world. It's those spaces, it's that service. It's really all of those things kind of together, that really strange alchemy that creates specialty coffee and cafe culture.
It's our vibe, baby.
It's the vibe.
It's our vibe here at SPoT Coffee. Come on down to SPoT Coffee here in Western and in Central New York. We'd love to see you. Say hi to Dylan. Have yourself a coffee. And we'll see you next week, live from the Roastery.